She is very much from a completely different world. She is from California.
Yeah.
She's from a space where, everybody is brought up to believe that they can achieve whatever they want to do. They can be whatever they want to be. It's also, powerful, empowering.
That's the American dream.
It is the American dream. But specifically as well, I always thought it was interesting because the reference points that you get in Hollywood towards royal families are very, very kind of one note. You've got to think of things like the Princess Diary, Genovia, Roman Holiday, and it's always this idea of a young, beautiful woman coming into this crusty, crumbly institution and gets them to, I don't know, go up and down the palace in roller skates or something. But there's always this concept that they're going to change, and they're going to change it overnight, and it's going to be a bit kind of tricky, but they're going to make it better and relevant.
Clash of cultures. Hollywood dreams versus royal reality. How Meghan navigated it all and what it says about why she actually had to leave. So Meghan came from a completely different world. Meghan was California born, raised in a culture where children grow up believing they can achieve anything. That's the heart of the American dream. The idea that you can shape your own future, break barriers, and define your own identity. But stepping into the monarchy meant stepping into the complete opposite. Suddenly, Meghan found herself in a world where your role is decided before you even open your mouth, where tradition outweighs individuality and centuries of protocol guide every move. That cultural clash, American ideals colliding with royal reality, is one of the most fascinating parts of Meghan's story. Hollywood, of course, has always had its own version of what royalty looks like. Think about movies like The Princess Diaries or Roman Holiday. They showed a light-hearted, almost fairy tale monarchy. The storyline is predictable. A beautiful outsider walks into a stiff, outdated palace and through charm, wit, and a little rebellion manages to modernize everything. Maybe she roller skates down the palace corridors. Maybe she sneaks out for gelato in Rome. Either way, Hollywood always suggests that individuality wins, tradition bends, and the palace learns to loosen up. When Meghan married into the royal family, the world projected that same Hollywood script onto her. People imagined she would be like those movie princesses, glamorous, relatable, and able to wave a magic wand that instantly modernized the monarchy. And in many ways, Meghan was that fresh energy. She was biracial, independent, intelligent, beautiful, and already successful in her own right. She embodied the American dream. But reality was far different from the movies. The monarchy, or at least the British monarchy, isn't, as we say, Genovia. It's not a fictional kingdom waiting to be revitalized by a modern woman in heels. It's a centuries-old draconian institution that thrives on slow change, control, and above all, continuity. And let's not forget, they love the gossip. They love to do, they're not there to do their work. They believe that the press is a central focus of who they are. And as a result, they allow the press to dictate their lives. They allow the press, the gossipy press, to be the main focus. And because of that, you are going to have friction. You're going to have things that are going to clash, palaces that are going to clash, individuals that are going to clash, because the press wants to make money. And because they do, they pit one up and always dragging down another. That is the dynamic of the British monarchy. And Meghan went in and was like, is this what I signed up for? Heck no, I'm not into this. So that was a culture shock. It was a culture shock for her because she was like, this is not what I thought the monarchy would be. So definitely, it was slow change, as I say, draconian, where Hollywood would script an overnight transformation. Meghan found herself facing resistance at every turn. Yes, if you listen to them, they resisted her at every turn. And she never went in there with like guns blazing. No, she didn't. She went in there, and I think the Queen also believed this. The Queen believed that Meghan was central to modernizing the monarchy, and she fit every bill. She fit it. The Queen knew it. The Queen knew that Meghan was also going to be the future of the monarchy because of what the CARICOM represents, right? Meghan is CARICOM, and that is what the Queen saw. Don't get it twisted when the Queen allowed Harry to marry Meghan, because she knew that Meghan was the face of the monarchy. They say you're the face of this company. Meghan was supposed to be that person. And of course, because of jealousy, they ran her out of there. And at the end of the day, the monarchy has been in free fall, downhill, downhill, down, down, down. They're going down, right? Because they refuse to see the vision, they refuse to see the light, and all they were so vested in is tearing her down instead of lifting her up. Look at how they treated Harry. They give him this foolish Nottingham cottage as if, the man could hit up his head. Look at where Harry and Meghan live now, a beautiful mansion. It's gorgeous. I am telling you, so they missed the boat. The royal family messed up royally. In the US, reinvention is celebrated. You can reinvent your career, your identity, even your public image. Meghan had already done this. Actress, activist, humanitarian, philanthropist, and duchess, princess, you name it. But in the monarchy, reinvention isn't the goal. Stability is. Meghan wasn't expected to change the monarchy. She was expected to fit into it, fit into the mold. Yes, whatever they carved out for her, she was supposed to just accept it and moving right along. But of course, being a woman that had already achieved many things on her own, she had her own life long before Harry, and she was with the UN. She was doing so many things, Uganda, you name it, she was there. So she knew that her ability and her input would have contributed significantly, but they did not see. They just wanted her to fit in the mold. Shut up, just do as we say. And that's where the friction began. To many in America, Meghan's struggle looked like a brave woman standing up for herself, holding on to her identity and demanding respect. To many in the royal institution, it looked like disruption. Too much, too soon, and too unwilling to conform. It's the same story Hollywood loves to tell, except in real life, there was no fairy tale ending. But I would disagree, because she did get her fairy tale ending. She got the prince. So in royalty, normally when we watch the movie, the prince whisk away the beautiful princess and he's in total control. In this one, Harry became the Cinderella because Meghan whisked him out of the royal fold, and now they're living their beautiful, happy life in California. So we're going to call Harry Cinderella. Yes, because Meghan upgraded that man. That man looks suave. That man looks good. That man looks well oiled, well moisturized, drinking his water, and enjoying the California sun, getting his vitamin D. He looks amazing. And we can attribute all of that to what Meghan has done. So yes, she whisked him away. So she definitely had her fairy tale ending. I would definitely say, and those two gorgeous, beautiful children, those redheads. I am telling you, what more could you ask for? Remember when Emily asked her, if you could want anything, what I should say, I have it. I have everything I've ever wanted. I have a beautiful family, a healthy family. We're safe. We're happy. What more could you ask for? There were no roller skates down Buckingham Palace halls. There was tension, press hostility, and the painful realization that individuality in the monarchy often has to be silenced for the sake of tradition. But here's what makes Meghan's journey so relatable. She represents what so many people face when they step into a rigid system, whether it's a new job, a family tradition, or a culture that doesn't fully accept them. You come in with hope, passion, and a vision of change, only to find out the system doesn't bend easily. That tension between staying true to yourself and trying to fit in is something almost everyone can identify with. Yeah, we have a situation where your mother-in-law don't like you, your father-in-law don't like you, your daughter-in-law don't like you. It's fine. It's relatable. We all understand it. And that's okay because the Bible says you leave and you cleave. You cleave to your wife. You cleave to your family. That's the family you are making. So you can leave your extended family and cleave to your wife and your husband. That's just how it is. Meghan's story is also a reminder of how American ideals clash with royal realities. The US celebrates individuality while the monarchy protects tradition. Hollywood writes stories where the outsider wins, but in Meghan's case, the outsider had to step away to preserve her own happiness and her own family's well-being, and that she has done. They never expected Harry and Meghan to survive, but they have. They're thriving, they're winning, they're doing great. And I'm telling you, by the grace of God, they will continue to do well. So Meghan has won. We say it all the time. And yet, even after leaving, Meghan embodies the best part of that Hollywood dream. She's still creating, still advocating, still telling her own story. She's proof that while the monarchy may not have allowed her to thrive, the American dream still lives in her ability to reinvent and keep moving forward. So when you watch those Hollywood movies about royalty, the ones where the young woman modernizes a palace overnight, we can't help but see a reflection of Meghan. The difference is her story wasn't scripted. It was real, raw, and far more complicated. In the end, Meghan showed us what happens when the American dream walks straight into the oldest monarchy in the world. It's not a fairy tale, it's a cultural collision. And from that collision, Meghan chose to build a life where her individuality, her voice, and her freedom could finally take center stage. And I love this because they wanted Meghan to be walking behind Kate and curtsying. And Meghan is so much more than Kate. Kate, I'm sorry, but Meghan, you are a cut above the rest. You had to take center stage, and I'm so glad everything worked out. I'm so happy they refused a half in, half out, because you would have been so straddled by what they want you to do, and you would have been so enamored with everything royally, but you're doing your own thing. You're living your own life where you have your own individuality. Your voice is being heard. No longer are you suppressed, your voice suppressed. Your voice is not silenced. It is being heard. You're empowering young women around the world, young men around the world. And yes, you got your freedom and you're happy with your family. And that's what we're talking about. That's not just Hollywood fantasy, guys. That's Meghan writing her own story. And yes, we have to talk about that. And we're so happy. So, guys, that's what I wanted to bring you. When royalty clashed with Hollywood. And guess who came out on top? Meghan Sussex. She has won. She's winning. She continues to win. So Hollywood dreams versus royal reality, the clash of cultures. But in the end, one woman stand firm and one woman continues to win. So that's what I wanted to bring you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you never miss a beat. Bye.